What's up, guys? I'm Behruz. I go by Mister Mistry. This is your voice without right to letters. We are Loud Studios. Let's get it. Currently, I run this studio called Loud Studios. I engineer, I songwrite, I sing, I record, I produce. I do everything related. Outside of that, I also run a agency called Mixed Feelings, which we handle events and activations for venues, hotels, hospitality groups, things like that. Born and raised in Dubai. This is my home through and through. I'm one of those third culture kids, as we're known as out here, who doesn't really feel like they have a home sometimes. You know, it goes one of two ways. It's either we feel like we're entirely stranded and we don't have anywhere to call home, or we go the other route, which I choose to do, which is say, when someone asks me where I'm from Dubai. I may not be a Emirati by nationality. I'm Indian Iranian originally, but nonetheless, I don't relate to any place like home like I do with Dubai. So I grew up, I used to, back in the day, all of these new places in Dubai didn't exist. Obviously, Dubai, downtown, Marina, Jumeirah, they didn't exist. I grew up in Dubai, back in the ends, as I call them. And my earliest memory is probably my mom having this, now you call it reggae, volume 3, like little CD. And my dad was always my dad was a music aficionado in the sense that he loved good quality of music. So our sound system at home was always, you know, good. He had like a Marantz amplifier and a Bose sub and these tweeters, and I remember him being very proud about that. From there, I think at 6 years old, I started my first guitar lessons. After that, I got, you know, LimeWire or Kazaa on a family computer, and it took off from there, man. The illegal downloads that were coming out. Yeah, anything and everything that I could get my hands on, I was downloading and I was listening to all the time. And I think we just went from there, and I just knew that music was my life. DJing is a huge part of my journey and will continue to be. Once I got back here and started doing it here, my love for R&B really started coming out. I realized that's the world that I wanted to be in. And that also happened to be where I was, you know, songwriting for fun from the time I was a kid. Because of that, I essentially decided, okay, I want to get to know the singers, I want to get to know the songwriters, the artists that are from the city. What do we have going on over here? And I started my first little home studio. I met my business partner now, his name's Travis, and we met through DJing. He's also a DJ from Toronto, who moved over here. We met, we came together, we found parallels on music much deeper than just DJing. We realized, okay, he has a background with the OVO camp and the Drake camp, and he was a engineer and tour DJ for Majid Jordan, who come out of there. So they were already in my stratosphere of interest, and I realized, okay, cool, maybe we can do something further than just DJ, and maybe we can start looking into a studio. For me, on a personal level, I've always been an underdog. In my life, I've always been an underdog. Firstly, I've been the brown kid. The brown kid was never the cool kid to do the music. Not in a Western world. We were never the ones that anyone went to. You know, it started with the Europeans, then it went into black culture. It's never been the brown kids until now. So personally, for me, that strikes a chord. But beyond that, the thing that I was always was the kid from Dubai. Now, obviously, everybody knows about our city. Everybody knows what happens here. Everyone wants to come here. 20 years ago, that wasn't the case. Even 10 years ago, when I moved to the US for university, I would say I'm from Dubai, and people would ask me if I got there by boat, or if Dubai was in Texas, things like that. You know what I mean? We were just a city that were completely unknown and always disregarded, and I'm so grateful to this place for raising me, for giving me everything that I have in my life, that I needed to make sure that the kids like me who love music, who see a future in music, have the possibility of that being true. And that's my ultimate goal. That's my ultimate goal is put this city on the map for music, at the top of it, at the top of the whole world. I want people to think of Dubai like they think of LA when they think of music. This is the place to be. Okay, so let's talk about my advice first. My first piece of advice: don't listen to your parents. I mean, listen to them always, of course, they know best, but don't listen to them when they tell you that your dream might be unrealistic, because that is their protective instinct. That is not them trying to crush you. That is their protective instinct. So they're gonna tell you, maybe play it safe, but listen, don't play it safe. At least try it. Maybe have the backup, maybe have the second option that makes sense, but at least try. Don't ever feel like you, because who you are, or because of where you're from, or what color your skin is, or what accent you have, or what school you go to, that you aren't the one that can do it in music. Don't ever feel that way, because that's how I felt for the longest time, and that's how I had to fight that feeling every single day, and I won that fight. And yeah, that's kind of why this place exists now. It's because I want to provide the space for every young kid that wants to do something in music to be able to come through, to be able to affordably use equipment and experience a space that makes them feel like they're in the same stratosphere as the professionals. Allows kids to come in here, you know, pay a small subscription fee compared to what you would at a professional studio, and be able to experience what it's like to be in a space where that creativity is flowing. You know, in a utopia, this is the space that every kid in Dubai that knows, okay, I want to pursue some sort of music, not only is this a space that they come to, but I want to, you know, try to lead the community of people that they look up to and can contact and can speak to and run to for advice. And I want to welcome them with open arms. You know, I never wanted to feel like there's any sort of barrier between the professional DJs and the professional audio engineers and the professional singer-songwriters versus the kids who just dream of being there. I don't want that space to feel like it's two distinct spaces. I want that to be very merged, because at the end of the day, the entire essence of music is about collaboration and inspiration. I don't think that there's any room for gatekeeping, any room for any sort of territorialism in this space. Music needs to be shared. It's about the next generation. It's about your next door neighbor. It's about being able to relate, to bring the world together, to, you know, show someone a piece of just serenity, calmness in something that they might not be able to access elsewhere. Most of the artists that I work with are not just Arabic speaking, but they are Arab origin. For example, one of my closest friends and one of my collaborators, his name's Mo Flow. He's a huge global artist now. He has a song with Pusha T, he has millions of streams, he's toured the US. Until this moment, until this past year, he's a Syrian kid. He's always been afraid to make music in Arabic. He's always been afraid to sing. He used to be a rapper. It got to the point where we collaborated and I started saying, bro, you have a really good voice. Why aren't you singing? You should be doing R&B. Why are you doing only this hardcore rap? And, you know, he used to say to me, like, this is what the culture wants from me. I don't have a choice. And I felt like my place, the influence that Dubai had on me was me saying, nah, actually you can do whatever you want. The culture doesn't demand anything from you. You dictate what the culture demands. And so he started singing, he started getting into his R&B bag, and he started doing it half in Arabic, half in English. When he felt comfortable, of course, not on any sort of forced thing. And magic, man, magic. He dropped an album earlier this year and it was just incredible. And I think, you know, that's where I come in. That's where growing up in Dubai helped me. It helped me bridge the gap between a Western market and a market that barely existed, and showing people from both ends that actually there is a synergy that can be found between the two. Okay, so when I first came here, I started DJing. Well, I was already DJing, and I was trying to get my first professional gig in the UAE. Back in the day, there used to be a club called Mahiki here. It's very popular at the time, super full, about 1,000 people at least a night. And as things work in Dubai, you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who gets you into a place. So I was 22, just came back here from Chicago. Nonetheless, I was determined. I was like, okay, I want to get into this club. So I used my connections, wooed the owner's son, and took him to dinner a few times. We became good friends, and eventually he was like, so yeah, you want to DJ in the club? And I was like, yeah, of course I want to DJ in the club. Comes a day when it's time to do that. I have never, ever, ever touched the music system. I haven't even gone near it and touched it, played around with it, never done it before. So the night before, I'm on YouTube, Googling and just watching tutorials on how to make it work with my laptop and with my setup and with the software that I use, and just studying it over and over and over and over. Built this fake version. I basically put 4 pieces of A4 paper out, pretended they were each deck, and got wires that I knew that I needed anyways for the next day, and just fake wired them all in. Acted like this is the setup, rehearsed it in what order to do what in, where everything goes 100 times over. Next day, went to the club, was playing the headline set, so I was starting at about 1 a.m. The club was absolutely full rammed. My first time ever stepping in front of any of these people, and was sweating buckets, nervous, almost peed myself. Made it work, did it, happened, went flawless, and it just shaped me into this almost surreal level of confidence where I started fully believing and manifesting that, I don't like the term fake it till you make it, but that same sentiment of it doesn't matter if you don't necessarily know what you're doing 100%. You gotta go into it like you know it 200%. And that level of confidence has completely shaped my life. Everything that I step into now, I believe that, yeah, I can do it. Even if I know back of my head, I don't really know what I'm doing all the way, I'm going in like, yo, you're the man. And more times than not, it works out.